Greetings to you, lovers of the game and fans of Chelsea. I welcome to the show once again. In this edition, I'm going to review the Chelsea Villareal Super Cup win and Kepa turning from zero to hero there. And before I begin the discussion, if it happens to be your first time of running through this video, please do one thing for me, please. I always plead with you because touching the smartphone and the subscription belongs to you and nothing else. Please do also subscribe to the channel if you are a lover of sports and football for that matter. And touch the notification bell, share the program to as many viewers as possible, because the greatest disservice to mankind is to refuse to share information which will be beneficial to greater number of people. And thank you and welcome back to this analysis once again. And it was a competitive game as we expected the game to be. It was a competitive game as we expected the game to be, and a game in which Chelsea dominated the entirety of the first half. But only the most important chance of the first half came to Villareal, in which they smashed through the woodwork, the post there, which nearly entered to result in an equalizer for them. And Chelsea dominated the game, as I told you, but with all the dominance, it couldn't count so much because we were once again blunt in front of attack. And this explains the reason why we are in for Romelu Lukaku. And so it's not surprising at all. So let me zoom through the lineup of the game to before I proceed with my analysis. Edward Mendy was imposed, Nathaniel Chalobah, Kurt Zuma, Antonio Rudiger, Hudson Odoi, and N'Golo Kante was the captain on the day because Cesar Azpilicueta had to start from the bench. And then Jorginho also came on in the second half. Kovacic, Alonso, Ziyech also unfortunately got injured, dislocated his shoulder on the 38th minute, had to be substituted on the 43rd minute. Timo Werner, Kai Havertz were the starting 11 for Chelsea. And later on, Christensen came on. Kepa Arrizabalaga, as you are aware, the hero of the day, also came on prior to penalty kickoff. And then we had Jorginho, as I said, Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic were all introduced in the game. And it was a dominant performance from Chelsea in the first half, but the dominance couldn't count because we were not clinical up front, and so that explains the reason why we are in the market for a striker. And this has been happening for the greater part of last season. As you are aware, last season in the league, our top scorer was Jorginho, with 7 goals, or I think 6 of them from the penalty box. And so that explains the reason why we are in for a striker. And so in the game, I made some key observations in the game that I made. Hakim Ziyech now is an important player for Chelsea. Hakim Ziyech is an important player for Chelsea as the season commences. Unfortunately, he's been injured and wouldn't take part, judging from how his shoulder dislocated. He may need some 2 to 4 weeks to get back well and train and come back. Kepa Arrizabalaga is Hakim Ziyech is going to be crucial in the season for Chelsea. And then Kepa Arrizabalaga is also important for Chelsea, irrespective of the damning and sometimes negative comments that the fans of even Chelsea fans do make about him on our respective platforms. And so going forward, we have to value him. That's why he's an expensive goalkeeper, and he proved it by being a penalty specialist. And I think if Edward Mendy was even left on the field, he could still have won. But Kepa is a penalty specialist, and I trusted Kepa too. And it's proving to be a Kai Havertz season. Number 3, another observation I made from the game is that this season is proving to be a Kai Havertz season, even before it gets underway. So we're going to expect so much from Kai Havertz, a link up with Romelu Lukaku, Timo Werner, and Mason Mount, depending on the kind of formation we want to play. The game really indicates that Chelsea clearly need a finisher. Yeah, we clearly need a striker, a clinical striker. And this game demonstrated that Chelsea needed a clinical striker to prosecute the campaign for the season. And so if now that Lukaku is in, I think our nerves have come down. Other than that, it's going to be a tiring and frustrating season once again, as it was last season. Though somebody will say, why am I saying frustrating season? Because last season we got the Champions League in our trophy cabinet. Yes, but we did most of those achievements by consolidating our defensive solidity. And so we wouldn't want to repeat that by still having always suffering watching Chelsea games because we don't score so much. Anytime you are watching Chelsea game, you are always frustrated. Yeah, that's for the greater even against Sevilla game, the Super Cup game. Super Cup, we were frustrated for most part of the game because we don't have finishers in the team. That most of the chances were not being taken. And let me rate the players' performance last night. Edward Mendy, despite conceding the goal, I would say it's none of his fault, so I'll give him 7/10. And Chalobah, I will give him, though he had a solid performance, but I think sometimes his inexperience was brought to bear. Yeah, so many people are praising him. I saw in most tabloids, but I think he won on few occasions with Gerardo Moreno and some attackers of the Sevilla teams. He was exposed as inexperienced, though I think he had a good game. So 6.5/10 there, I'll give him. Zuma had a quiet afternoon. He was so 5.5/10. He was trying to go there to head the crosses from the corner kicks, 5.5. And Rudiger also, I'll give him 6 because this game Rudiger did well, but I think for the goal he and the defense didn't communicate enough. So and he lost the ball prior to Sevilla getting the equalizer, and other defenders who were supposed to come in and help him reacted too lately to that challenge, which resulted in Sevilla equalizing for that goal. And then also Kalun Hudson-Odoi also had even it's difficult to say he had an impactful, positive game because he was supposed to be creating the chances and they were giving the balls. Timo Werner was nowhere to be found again. So Kalun Hudson-Odoi, I'll give him 7, and then Kovacic, I'll give him 6.5. Yeah, 6.5 because he was a point in time you could clearly see that he was very tired in the second half. Hence, the pattern of the game changed in favor of Sevilla. They were dominating. You know, as with football matches, if your midfielders are tired, it will be difficult for you to dominate games. So that was what happened. The second half that N'Golo Kante was substituted. Kovacic was tired, and so the Sevilla midfielders were running over him like a knife running through the bread, with a batter running through the bread, just like that. And so that was why the tempo of the game changed in favor of Sevilla in the second half. N'Golo Kante, up to the time he was substituted, I will give him 7.5, and then Ziyech before he was substituted, even basically almost my man of the match, I'll give him 8 before the substitution. Kai Havertz also, I'll give him 8 there, though he missed the penalty, but I'll still give him 8. Timo Werner, still 5/10, disappointing, and honestly, I didn't see his impact in this game. And Kepa Arrizabalaga, though, came on prior to penalties, but I'll still rate him because he was the hero on the day, so I'll give him 7/10, 7.5 there, about over 10. And so, he had a positive game, though, coming on in the last minute to save the penalties for us. And also, you could see that clearly from the lineup that Chelsea didn't feature some of their first team players. Even some others have had to come in the second half. The likes of Mason Mount, Christian Pulisic, and then Jorginho had to come on in the second half. And so against Crystal Palace, in which the preview will come in the course of the week prior to the game, I think Thomas Tuchel will revert back to his original position. Marcus Alonso, I forget to rate him. Marcus Alonso also had 7/10, calm game, but defensively sometimes he was suspicious. But going forward, he was an excellent part of the Chelsea's game, and so he also had a cool game. If even you won't say an excellent game, he had a very good game also. And then hopefully we'll upgrade our preparation now that Romelu Lukaku is in to suit the Premier League game, in which I expect most of our first team to be back into action. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, do well to hit the subscribe button. Comment, like, and comment as well. Comment to agree or disagree with my analysis of the game. And the Super Cup winners, Chelsea, the European winners, are now the Super Cup winners, thus confirming our dominance in Europe. And so now what is left for us to achieve is the World Club Cup, which will be coming on, I think, in around December, thereabout. And so congratulations to Chelsea once again. And still blue is the color indeed, as we await the commencement of the season. Cheers. I love you guys out there. Thank you. Bye-bye.